Welcome back to the Chris and Lee world. World of finance with home loans and real estates and
other stuff.
aliens. And I don't think I want to wear this.
Conspiracy theories and Joe Rogan talk. And
I think I'm going to go hatless today.
You're going hatless? Dude, you're
I'm
bold.
going to show this bad boy.
You are straight bold.
I'm going to show it.
Straight bold.
So did you guys see the Tucker Carlson interview with Putin? Did you see it?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
That was amazing.
Was it amazing?
I thought it was amazing.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a two-party system. I call it teams because people, they're just so dedicated to it. It's a team regardless if they do good or bad.
Okay.
So you have these two teams. There are Republicans and Democrats.
Okay.
So a Republican, a known conservative, went out and said, "Hey, Putin, let's have a conversation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's reverse it. What if a known
What's up, KK?
liberal-
Good to see you.
KK in the house. What if a known liberal went out and do that? Would you have a problem with it?
No, I don't care. Who
Are
did?
you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure you wouldn't have a problem?
positive.
You wouldn't say, "Oh, look at this person talking to the dictator or the communist or the whatever." You'd have no problem with it.
None.
So if you went to Fox News and they said, "Can you believe that Rachel Maddow is now in China or is now in India or whatever country, in this case, Russia, talking to the enemy?" You'd have no problem with that.
No.
You'd be like, "Oh, we're good."
Well, first off, you're defining enemy, and
No.
you're thinking. Well,
I'm
okay,
teams.
You just said
Teams.
talking to enemy.
Teams.
Okay.
And that's why, like the Cowboys and the Raiders, there's a
Yeah.
team.
Okay.
So the Cowboys suck, you're still gonna love them.
Yeah.
If the Raiders suck, I'm still gonna love them.
They do.
And people do this with politics. So
Yeah.
whether the Democrats are doing good or bad, there's a group that goes, "We're voting Democrat," and
Yeah.
same thing on the Republicans, vote Republican. I don't think that way. At least I like to think I don't think that way. And I'm wondering if others have a problem with it.
Well, it's an echo chamber. The problem is it's an echo chamber. If you want to have some fun, watch Fox News for 1 week straight. And just watch it with an open mind. Then watch MSNBC for 1 week straight. And they're just entirely different mindsets. The problem is that you start to believe everything that you hear, and if you don't open to the other side. So what Tucker said, by the way, Tucker could be the most important journalist of our time. Here's why. Because Tucker went out, by the way, pull the rates up. Tucker went out and Fox News, I don't know if you know this, but Fox was paying him ridiculous money. I don't know how much money, but let's call it $20 million a year. And Tucker said Tucker's contract was for another 2, 3 years, 4 years or something like that. And Fox said, "Okay, you know what, Tucker? You're not fired. You're not fired. No, we're just not going to let you on the air anymore. So we'll still pay you. We'll still pay you $20 million a year. You still make $2 million a month. Go sit at home in New York or wherever. Do whatever you want. You're still getting paid like ridiculous money. But you're not going on the air." You know what Tucker said? "If you're not going to put me on the air, I'm not going to honor the contract." And Fox said, "We'll sue you." And he said,
Is that volume up?
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing something.
It's probably me in the back.
So they're going to sue you.
So they said, Tucker said, "Then sue me." And Fox says, "We will." And then Tucker said, "All right, I got to go to a platform that won't deplatform me." And he went to Elon Musk and he said, "Hey, listen, I'd like to start my own show here. Will you not deplatform me?" And Elon said, "I'll not deplatform you." So that's a big move. It's not a small move. It's a big move because Tucker Carlson's numbers were pretty big, pretty big. And if you night news, if you get like Tucker was getting a 2.3 million viewers a night. That's a lot in TV. A lot, 2.3 million. Okay, so most shows get 800 to 1.2 in that range. The bigger shows get 2s. So Tucker was getting $2 million, 2 million views, and that translated into, hey, we can sell some advertising. Well, at Tucker's last interview, you know what it was this morning when I woke up? 97 million. 97 million. Remember, when he was on Fox prime time, he was getting 2 million. So people do not like to admit this, but if you understand it, this is why Joe Rogan's so powerful, because his videos smoke everybody. They smoke everybody. Tucker has the power to get there. You know who else ironically has the power? Russell Brand. If you haven't seen this guy, Russell Brand, he's the UK version, and he's pretty smart. He's like really smart and well connected and lived in the US for a long time. He lives in the UK now, but he's very smart, and because of that, it's a very scary situation. But now, do I want to listen to the other side? If Rachel Maddow, who I personally can't stand, but if she went out and interviewed Putin, I'd watch the whole damn interview. I wouldn't be like, how dare her consorting with the enemy? I'd be like, no, I want to hear what they're saying. Because first off, they're not the enemy. They're not the enemy. And
Who's not? Who are you talking about?
Russia. Because they like to be painted as the enemy. And if you understand, well, what the heck happened? If you understand what happens, you need a common enemy in order to spend money.
So
I'm talking about the military-industrial complex, of course.
So there's two sides to this too, because where Tucker was broadcasting, that's a new thing too. Because if Twitter was still Twitter, owned by Dorsey or whoever,
It would never go.
it would, no one would have ever seen this video.
Yeah.
No one would have ever seen this interview, ever. So Elon's the first step. Then Tucker is the second step. That being said, I would like to think that I know you're super confident about it, but I would like to think that I would have that same kind of open mind. Because I don't think people do in general. Speaking in general,
Yeah.
I think people stick to that one side, and that's it. Now you have the other people that like to think, like the Joe Rogans of the world. He likes to think, but I don't even know if he has that ability to go, it should be even. Everyone should be able to give up all their data and not play to a party. And he says a lot of negative things about Democrats. He recently saying
Joe Rogan?
He's calling them the Democrats.
Joe Rogan is?
Yeah, Joe Rogan is.
Yeah, okay.
He's saying the Democrats,
Yeah.
the Democrats. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, man, you've really changed the way you say things, because I think he's more libertarian than anything.
Joe Rogan is, yeah. Well, Joe Rogan's got a very powerful platform, and all of this does parlay into buying a house.
Almost as big as this one.
Yeah.
Almost as big. Not
It does
quite.
parlay into buying a house. And if, in case you're wondering, interest rates today, New American Funding is putting out a 15-year interest rate, 5.375, and a 30-year 5.625. 5.625.
Let's do a quick commercial.
5.375. Okay, so if you need a badass loan, call Badass Loan Officer. If you need to get a hold of a badass loan officer, call Chris and Lee at New American Funding. We are your badass loan officers that can help you get a loan. So here's another thing that's very important, and I've been seeing this. I've been seeing the 3-2-1 buy down and people saying buy down the rate. And I keep going, hey, listen, this needs to put out there. The cheaper rate is not always better. It sounds better, and if you talk to a used car salesman like, hey, the cheaper rate is better. Hey, I went over this thing where if you do a 3-2-1 buy down, here's what that means. Let's say that your par rate is 6.5%. You're getting in at 6.5%, 6.5, but you do a 3-2-1 buy down. So for the first year, it's going to be 4.5%. What? 4.5%. Sounds amazing. 4.5%. And then the next year, it's going to be 5.5%. One point difference. And then the following year, it's going to be 6.5% where your rate is today. First off, I have to qualify you with 6.5%. I cannot qualify you with 4.5%. If that was the case, it would be a whole different scenario. But because your rate is 6.5%, one thing is absolutely for certain. For certain. Next year, your rate is going to go up from 4.5 to 5.4. That is certain. That is certain. It's not questionable. Not maybe it's going up. Not could be it's going up. Not if the market is doing good or bad. It's going up. And then 1 year later, for certain, it is going up again. Again. So 1 year later, it's 6.5%. Now, it sounds good because you're like, hey, for my first year, I paid 4.5%. That sounds good. It does. And you know what you have to do? You have to pay a lot of money to get that. Call it $20,000. You pay $20,000 for a 4.5% rate first year, 5.5 the second year, and then 6.5 is where it's going to settle. Now, if you're just looking at that through the surface, maybe it's a good thing, maybe. But if you actually dig a little deeper, and you know that the Fed, Chairman Jerome Powell came out and said, hey, listen, we anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in the 2024 year. 3. He didn't say they were going to happen in March because we actually don't believe it's going to happen in March. But he said we anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in 2024, which means that 6.5 that you got quoted at is going to be going down. And in a year, it could be 5. It could be 5. New American Funding is saying 5.375. Perfect scenario, obviously. But it could be 5. And if you refinance at 5, you've got a better interest rate. But one thing's for certain. If you're in a 3-2-1 buy down, your rate is going to go up. It's absolute. It's by the contract. Your rate is going to go up. So now you have an option. Hey, you know what? 1 year later, I'm going to refinance. Well, if you refinance, why would you put the 20 grand up front in the first place? So that's a cap. That's a real, and it's math. It's always math. And I tell people this, and they're like, well, 4% sounds better. It does sound better. We drop in what? Mm-hmm. All right, cool.
So back to the original thought in a second. Let me answer these questions really quick. Keefe29, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Keefe?
I don't know if it's a man or a chick, but I think it's a dude. User 2586. I made 45K 1099, around 4K W2. Assuming that's about $49,000 a year. I have a car payment of $900. $900 a month. Okay, so that's about $4,000 a month, and 25% of that goes to the car payment. That is a lot of money on a car payment. How much do I qualify for?
In addition, you got 45K and 1099.
Yeah, that's it. 45 plus 4, 49,000 a year. A year, right? Were you confused? I'll help you.
4K for the year on W2. 4K. So 4K on the year on W2. Do I qualify? We got a lot more to. We need a lot more factors.
But the one piece that I want to say is 25% of your income's going to a car payment. Okay, so by just raw numbers, take your monthly income, cut it in half. Half of that's going to a car payment, which means you only have about $1,000 left per month. What can $1,000 a month get you as far as a house?
Not much.
What about $100 grand?
About that, maybe, with no debt.
So if you have no debt
and a pretty good credit score.
About $100,000. About $100,000. So
maybe, probably more like 70, more like 80, more like 80.
$80,000.
Yeah.
Plus closing costs.
Don't forget that.
So back to the Tucker thing. So Tucker does this interview that no one else can do on a platform that no one else can have, or is new that they allowed it. Very new that they allowed it.
Yeah.
Which is a very big deal. And what you said is even bigger. 90 million views?
97 million as of this morning. 97 million.
That's insane. That's a third of our country.
That's
almost.
insane. That's insane. Like
big numbers.
The one that the bubblegum that set the internet on fire a little while ago. Cat Williams. Cat Williams on Shay Shay. What are they at? Like 30 million. This smoked that. And this interview is not just something. So relativity kicks in. Do you know how many people are in America roughly?
330.
350-ish, 350. It grows a little bit more every year. So about 350 million people in America. Do you know how many people there are in China?
1.3.
Yeah, about that. 1.3, 1.4 billion, somewhere in that range. More than America, like 3 times or 4 times more in America. Do you know how many people there are in India?
1.2.
Nope, more than China, actually. As of right now, India surpassed China in population. So, do you think this interview is just important to Americans?
No.
Everybody. It's important to everybody in China. It's important to everybody in India. And they do bring up China and India. And they bring up these very, very populated countries. So, yeah, see? He's like, he checked me to see if I was right. He's You're like, no, it is.
They're the same.
1.425 in China. 1.441 in India. That's bigger. 441, 425. We do math for a living. I know you're going to try and but I'm telling you, the minute that happened, I was like, this is a big deal. Because the trajectory of China is shrinking. The trajectory of India is growing. It's huge. It's huge. And see, you caught me on that one too. He said 320. I said 340 million. It's 341 million.
No,
I watched this.
Ish.
340, 350-ish. Yeah, 340, 350,
not accurate.
341,
Why does it matter?
341,
Red,
341.
green,
Yeah. So anyway,
color.
the population of the United States, is only 340 million, but that's not the people who watch it. And Russia's population is even smaller than America's. Russian population is smaller. So the two superpowers in the world have smaller populations. But you know what Putin accurately put out? China is very, very, very aware of what's going on in America and going on in Russia. And China is the real superpower that we should be worried about. And he put that out there. He said economically, China passed America about 2 years ago or something like that. What's up, Sierra? What's up, guys?
But here's the problem. Here's the real problem.
Go.
How can we launder money through Ukraine if we don't have a problem with Russia?
That's the point. And that's the point. So if you don't have somebody to hate, If you don't have somebody to evil, you can't drop bombs. If you can't be dropping bombs, you don't need to build more bombs. If you don't need to build more bombs, you don't have to tax the people. And that's the real thing that is sooner or later gets out to the people. But as long as they control the narrative, Putin said it very clearly in that interview. He said, hey, most of the media across the globe is controlled by the United States. That's huge, because whoever's controlling the media is controlling the minds. And unless you're open enough to go, hey, listen, maybe they're telling me to get a, and I don't really need it. Should I just believe these guys? Maybe I shouldn't believe it. Anyway, as it parlays going forward, that does affect our economy. And our economy is affecting the rates.
All right. Josh Y. My wife and I run a business. Take less than $20,000 profit each. Less than? And on taxes. Any way we can qualify.
Joshy says Joshy or Joshua?
Joshy Y.
Joshy Y. So if you have an 1120 with K1s, that's corporate tax returns with your percentage ownership. If you have an 1120 with K1s and that profit and that business, see, you're saying you took 20 grand in profit. I don't know if you're taking 20 grand in payout to partner and the rest stays in Treasury. And if you did, and you can show that both of you guys are the owners of the company and you're both going on the loan, then I can use the income from the corporation to complement your income, and maybe yes.
Wow.
That's a little more complicated, but yes.
Josh Y, you need to follow up with us, give us a call. Phone number's right here, or you can go to the link on TikTok or Instagram and apply now. Flockcheese. Can I purchase a business property on the first buy? I think first time home buyer. I'm going to go with that.
Business property, no.
First buy.
Yeah, no.
That's
No.
commercial.
Yeah, that's commercial property. That's no good commercial property you're going to get in for as low as a primary residence.
No, you're in business, man.
Yeah, you're in
Time
business.
to spend money.
Yeah.
Sierra, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, Sierra?
How long should you wait to purchase a car after a house purchase?
You can do it the next day after you fund,
day.
but wait till you fund and record. Make sure you fund and record.
Explain what those two steps are.
Okay, so when you start the housing process, you're going to, hey, I entered escrow. Escrow is a non-biased third party. Escrow is going to execute what all the parties agreed to. The seller agreed to sell, the buyer agreed to buy, the banker or the bank agreed to lend, and the pest inspection agreed to inspect, and the appraiser agreed to appraise. Everything is inside of escrow. Escrow is a non-biased third party, theoretically. Sometimes they are, but theoretically a non-biased third party. So when everything comes together, the lender says, yes, I will give you money. So that's called funding. And I will transfer title. So that's selling it. And the buyer says, here's all my stuff. And everything cleans up. The bank funds. And everybody thinks that's the end of the game, but it's not. The bank sent the money over to escrow, but it's not complete yet.
It usually ends at money, but not this case.
Yes. It goes to escrow, and escrow disperses funds to the appraiser, the pest guy, the selling agent, the buyer's agent, the seller. Everybody gets their funds, and then they go down to the county and record. Once they record, this is done. But people think you can fund a loan, and that's it. I've had a loan unfunded. I've had 2 loans unfunded. That's not
Broke the record.
We broke the record. Yeah. So we got to refund it because there was some issues and whatever. We solved the issues and got it refunded. But a loan can unfund after it's funded. And it's a very scary situation because you're like, wait a minute, what just happened? You can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, they can. Because somebody did not comply with whatever was here. And sometimes it's simple as a refresh, prove you're still working. Mm-hmm. Because right before they push the fund button, the bank calls your employer and says, hey, is Mr. Smith still working there? Yup, cool. They do that. If they say, is Mr. Smith working there? I'm sorry, he's no longer with the company. Wait, what? All of a sudden, everything gets unraveled real fast. And we have buyers who don't tell us, and they're like, well, I lost my job, but I figured, I just wouldn't tell you. I'm like, no, don't ever do that. You're crazy. If you lose your job, tell your loan officer, like right away, immediately. Why? Because if I know and you're highly employable, I can have you'll be working within a week. All right, cool. then I plan for that. And I can plan for it and still land this escrow. But if you hide things from me, it could fall apart. Yep. And it has. We've had that. I can't, how many times it's happened? It's happened a lot.
So Sierra, fund, record, then party.
And you can go buy anything you want. Everybody will lend you money, by the way, yeah.
Anybody will lend you money? Wow.
Anybody. Are you guys bringing back Ninja loans? Ninja.
Level 3 backpack.
Level 3. Doesn't got a level 1 backpack? Doesn't got a level 2 backpack?
I don't know which one's better, 1 or 3.
Level 3 backpack. Ninja was no job, no income, no assets. Not really. No, there are some versions of that, but you're offsetting it with so much of a down payment that you're alluding to the 2006, 7, 8 run up and then the crash. And they were lending with 0 down, very little money down. And a Ninja loan is no job, no income, no assets. Those, they kind of exist, but they offset, they mitigate the risk by requiring a substantial down payment and substantial reserves. So, can I do bank statement only program? Yes. I don't need to see your income. Don't need it. Nope. Don't need to know if you have a job. All I have to do is see that you make X amount in the bank so many months in a row, 12 months, 24 months, whatever. But you are going to have to put 20% down, and you're going to have the reserves for that. So, Ninja loan, probably not coming back. Probably not. Probably not.
All right, Ben Oneto, credit score 780 to 800, good credit. 110K a year, good income. No debt, fantastic job. Will pay off 2 debts when house sells. They're selling a house, 200K down.
Dude, you $700,000 purchase price, $500,000 loan.
Easy
starting.
And you're gold.
Yep, you're gold. Everybody wants you.
Josh E.Y. Gross is about 150K a year. LLC, we pay ourselves about 4K a month. So this is the guy who owns his business, 20K profit.
Gross is not the important part. Gross doesn't matter. Gross. If you look at our gross sales on a good year, we sell $100 million in loans, but that's net. Net's the only thing that counts. Now, here's something very big, Joshy. If you're doing your 1120s and your K1s and you're thinking about buying a house, talk to your accountant, your CPA, whoever does your taxes, because as a loan officer, I'm allowed to add back in depletion and depreciation. So whatever's on that line, let's say it's $100,000 on that line for depletion or depreciation. I'm able to put that right back to your bottom line, even though you didn't pay taxes on it. And I'm able to put that right back, and you're able to buy a house with it. We do it all the time.
Ooh, yeah. Flockchus, you're welcome, man. Always here for you. Connor, what's up, Connor? How you doing? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Got any plans this weekend?
Friday.
Any plans?
I don't really know.
I'm doing an open house.
We haven't been. It's been raining for the last 2 weekends, so I think. I gotta go do some outdoorsy stuff, man. Something outdoorsy.
I'll be working.
Yeah.
I'll be at an open house in Beaumont if anyone wants to come check it
out.
DVD DRNG.
Mm-hmm.
I want an FHA fourplex investment property. How would y'all know I'm renting out all 4 units? All units.
I wouldn't know. I don't really care. What I do know is the guideline says you have to occupy the biggest unit. You must occupy 1 unit, FHA, and you must do it for 1 year. I can actually use the other 3 as an investment property. We're not hiding that. I also know you should not intend to commit mortgage fraud. That's a very big deal. Let's not do that. We're not a fan of that. Don't ever do that.
And how they check, they knock on your door is one way that I've heard, and they check the UPS, the postal service, so wherever your mail's going.
Yeah.
Ryan.
We got balloons, man, but nobody's out there.
I love the balloons.
I love the balloons.
340K home, how much do I need?
340K home. If you started to make about 65, 70,000 a year, we'd start talking. A little bit more money than that. We're good.
You're welcome, Ben. He says, thank you. You guys rock. Lots of great info. Appreciate your time.
We appreciate you too,
Sarah
Ben.
Perez. Is cash the best way to go?
Cash is the best. Cash.
How much you got, Sarah?
Cash, yeah.
How much you got?
You got $1 million just kind of sitting there?
Chilling.
Just do it.
Doing nothing.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, that's all we got to say,
a side hustle
man.
or something, Sarah? What's going on? Why you got so much cash?
Why is Dak Prescott selling real estate?
Well, the Cowboys suck, so gotta get paid somehow. Gotta get paid. Ryan, is that open house? Money. Is that open house you be at? I'm 1 million by chance.
1 million.
I think it's at 6
in Beaumont. In Beaumont,
I think it's
600,000 in Beaumont. There's some nice houses.
All new builds.
There's some nice houses in Beaumont actually. Yeah.
Said Ryan.
Okay,
right.
Cool. Yep.
Is that open house at 1 million? No, it's at 6. Sarah laughed at you.
No one likes the Cowboys.
No one likes the Cowboys.
Nobody except for the Cowboys fans.
Gotta be from New Mexico.
Ryan's won $6 million.
Dude, what happened to 10?
Dude, 6 million.
You're shooting low.
Yeah, dude. What?
Still houses. You sell houses on the side, I see.
He doesn't sell houses. Yeah, he does not sell houses. He does loans. Those are big difference.
I don't sell them on the side.
There's
I sell them right in front of you.
Yeah, right in front of you, right now, right here.
So one of my agents actually reached out and said, "Hey, bud, you want to do an open house with me?" What that really means is, "Hey, man, you want to come hang out?" That's all it really means.
Kind of.
A lot of loan officers and realtors put out like, "Hey, get pre-qualified on the spot." Yeah, it really doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I can guess you're not gonna have paperwork ready, but if you did, I would pre-qualify you. Ben, do you guys operate in Hawaii? You operate in Hawaii?
Hawaii, yes.
Like
Hawaii,
cut you open,
Hawaii.
take out your gallbladder, operate? Like
Hawaii, Hawaii. Yeah,
You
all
gonna
50
relocate?
states. All 50 states, man.
Ben's going to Hawaii.
All 50 states. We just recently got approved to do business in New York. I'm very excited about that. We haven't done our first loan in New York. I don't know what the special hoops we're going to have to jump through, but I'm excited to try it. I'm excited. If you're in New York, let's get you a house.
New York, Hawaii.
Yeah. Realtor versus mortgage broker.
What does that mean?
I think they want a UFC match.
I'll throw it
So
in.
yeah, I think they want a UFC match, realtor versus mortgage broker.
I won't fight a female, but I'll fight a male. Because there's a lot of female realtors. I don't know if you don't work, so you don't know that.
Okay.
Ben, that's the plan. Moving to Santa Cruz, the Big Island. To the Big Island. Oh, you're in Santa Cruz right now. Cool. How much do you recommend for a first-time home buyer to give us a down payment? Asked Fabiola.
So Fabiola, that's a very subjective question. And I say subjective because just because you have the money doesn't mean you should give the money. And sometimes if you found your forever home and the rate is where you want it and you don't think you're ever going to refinance, 20% down, and then buy down the rate, buy it all the way down to the 2s if you can, and then that's it. Don't ever refinance. Don't try and use your house as an ATM if you have the money. Now, usually the question is, what can I get away with? What I can get away with on an FHA is 3.5%. Or I can use a down payment assistance program and go 0 down. So that's the difference. So in a perfect world, 20%, but that's when rates are low. I wouldn't do 20% today. No way. I wouldn't even buy down the rate today. If I can afford it and not buy down the rate, I might actually go the opposite route. They say, hey, your par rate is 6.5%. Yeah, can I get a 7.5% please? And they'll say, what? And I'll say, yeah, I'll take that $10,000 you guys are going to give me, and I'll use it for closing costs. So my rate is 7.5, but you know what? The Fed has put out that they're going to be reducing interest rates over the next year in 2024. So there's no question of whether I'm going to refinance. I am going to refinance. And when I do, I'm going to 7.5, hopefully all the way down to the 4s or maybe even the 3s. And at that point, I'm going to take all the money that I would have bought down the rate, all the money that I got from the excess rate that I paid for, and buy down the rate then, and then never refinance again.
So disclosure. Wow. What he's saying is 100% accurate because you said, what do you recommend?
Uh-huh.
Now, what is realistic? 0 to 3.5% down. That's realistically what most people do. Recommend and realistic, two different things. Mm-hmm. So don't let the 20% down, $200,000 saved in your account situation stop you.
Yeah.
Get pre-qualified now. Figure out where you stand. Sierra, what's the difference between a realtor and a mortgage broker?
Okay, so one of them starts with the R and one of them starts with the M.
You asked the wrong person.
A realtor sells real estate. They are sanctioned by they joined the National Association of Realtors. That doesn't mean that a real estate agent, because there's a difference between a real estate agent and a realtor. Real estate agent passed the real estate agent's test and can sell real estate, but they want every agent to join the National Association of Realtors, and at that point you can call yourself a realtor. That's actually a registered trademark.
A union.
Yes. Realtor, right? So realtor deals with the transaction. They actually help you find the house, negotiate the contract for the house. A mortgage broker, or in our case, lender, because we are not mortgage brokers, we are lenders. We're a direct lender. Lender is the bank, or represents the bank that is getting you the loan. So you're looking for the house, finding the house, and then you need the money. So there's two sides to it. Mortgage broker is a whole section of the lending industry, and it's not direct lender. We are direct lenders.
Yeah, and if you want to start an application, don't want to talk to us, go to the link up top, click on it, apply now. It's going to be on Instagram and TikTok, or you could just text this number. 6 million for that place. Will they take 2 million?
Yeah, there you
Ryan
go.
is a shrewd negotiator,
You're
man.
shrewd, man.
Let's try. Let's see if we can
Yep.
get it done. Britt, your down payment goes towards your closing costs? Question mark. Correct?
Actually, by definition, absolutely not. Your down payment is your down payment.
Mhm.
Your closing costs are your closing costs.
So I gotta
Now,
pay both?
So yes, you have to pay both.
What?
So what you're saying is, does the money that I put in EMD, earnest money deposit, that's sitting in escrow, apply towards my closing costs? And it could, or it could apply to your down payment. But those are two distinct, separate costs, different line items, and you can handle them differently. What does that mean? FHA requires that you put your own money down, or you can get a gift, but your own money. You got a gift from somebody, you used your money. Closing costs can be paid for by anybody. It doesn't have to be your own money. It can be the sellers. It can be the realtor. The realtor can say, hey, I'm kicking in 10 grand. It can be the lender. The lender can say, hey, I'm kicking in 10 grand. Anybody can pay closing costs, but the buyer must, by and large, put the down payment.
Yep. And I'm going to share something with you guys. I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm actually going to teach all the other loan officers out there right now the
Teach 'em.
secret. Here's what it is, guys. So you come to us, okay? So Brittany comes to us and says, hey, I want a loan. I ask, what is your max out-of-pocket budget? And she says $20,000. Cool. Now I know your max out-of-pocket budget. So I'm going to structure it so that your down payment and whatever closing costs fit into that $20,000. And if we need to ask for a seller credit, I'm going to talk with the agent about that. Or if you say my budget's $100,000, we're going to stay inside of that budget, okay? And it's always going to be your down payment and closing costs or whatever you can cover. That is just your max budget. So you don't have to chop up the difference of how much is going to down payment, how much is going to closing costs, unless you're looking for a regular or a specific mortgage payment. So you just give us your max budget. We stay in that. You don't have to figure out all the other math. We'll do it for you. So make it easy. So my most that I'm paying out of pocket is $30,000, and this is my mortgage payment. That's all you need. Makes it easy. Hi guys, I just got my tax return amount. Another $15K in savings, said Ash.
Love it.
You're welcome, Fabiola. Planning to start our home buying journey next month. So what does that mean she needs to do?
You need to call us. You need to call
When?
us like stat. That means right away.
Now.
Yep.
Text us. DJ Sims 8. How much money do you require recommended to be in reserve?
Okay, so that's going to depend on the type of house you buy and the credit score you have. So let's just say you have a good credit score. If you have a good credit score, the DUAUS, which is Desktop Underwriter Automated Underwriting System, will go, hey, listen, this guy's got a good FICO score. We don't have to worry because this guy pays his bills on times. But if you have a lower FICO score, then the DUAUS might say, hey, you know what? We want 3 months reserves. So part of it's based off of FICO score. Another part is based off of loan type. If we did a second home, I would need about 6 months reserves for both your primary and your second home, best case scenario. Worst case scenario is going to be 18 months, more than likely 12 months.
First time home buyer over 620, you won't need any. Sunny Tapia, I have a property. Why $650 equity and would like to use to invest, but a little apprehensive. Property, why $650K in equity? You understand that question, or
Nope,
does Sunny
I don't
need to
know.
ask it again?
Sonny,
Be
gotta
more
help.
clear. Be more
Shy
clear.
Guy's back, man. Shy
What
Guy.
up, dude?
You just followed us now, Shy Guy? You were here yesterday. You should have followed us yesterday.
I don't
What's
remember
up,
any
man?
guys being shy.
Shy
But
guy.
This guy doesn't forget a guy.
Freestyle.
Freestyle's in the house. Freestyle God.
You know,
Ryan, I was told I need 25% down and 6 months reserves with the company. Why 25%? Depends on what you were qualified for, man.
it sounds like you're going for a commercial loan. It sounds like a commercial loan. Yeah, are you buying your primary residence, or are you trying to buy a commercial something under your LLC, something like that?
Yeah, weird.
Okay.
What Monday do you get back after closing?
What Monday? Money, not Monday.
It says Monday.
I know it says Monday, but I think she says money. So here's how it works. Let's say that you put in $10,000 in EMD. That's earnest money deposit that went into escrow. So now you have $10,000 in earnest money deposit, but we used the down payment assistance program that covered all your down payment. So your 3.5% was covered by a down payment assistance program. So they came in and covered the down payment. And you had a shrewd realtor, and they negotiated all closing costs. So all closing costs were paid for by the seller. But you put $10,000 in EMD. When they finalize all the numbers, they're going to go, hey, listen, the down payment was paid for by the down payment assistance program. The closing costs were paid for by the seller. Here's this $10,000. Let's give it back to the buyer. That's how you get it back.
Wow. So Sonny clarified, said,
Yep.
I have a property with $650,000 in equity and would like to invest it, but is apprehensive. What do you want to invest in, Sonny? You want to buy real estate? Because if you want to buy real estate, let me share this with you. I actually don't have it in front of me.
No.
But real estate has always gone up in value, okay? So everyone's trying to time it. Everyone's trying to look for the best deal. So if you're not looking to cash out of money in the next month or even 6 months or maybe even 6 years, if you buy real estate, it is going to go up and down a little bit, but it's going to go in a fashion like this. Even with the big dip, it's still going to go up like this. So over time, real estate has always performed the best and has always been on top. And in the last 40 years, there's only been 2 dips, one in the 90s and one in the 2000s. The one in the 2000s was huge.
Huge.
But if you have properties before that time and still have those, you have so much equity right now.
Yeah.
You're winning. Even during the down times, you're winning. So apprehensive, I understand that. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of courage to take that next step. And if you need help financing, you know who to go.
Yeah.
Do you guys work with DPA programs and grants?
Yes, we do. New American Funding is a very large bank, very large, doing business in all 50 states. Wherever you're at, we are probably able to do your loan with the down payment assistance program. When I say that, like here in California, you have to be a CalHAFA approved lender. So New American Funding is, and because we're that big of a bank, we go the extra steps to make sure we're approved by the down payment assistance programs.
How much will a 5.99 rate cost at least 2 points? Question mark.
Ryan, damn, we're good. Damn. So right now, New American Funding is putting out that 15-year fixed 5.375, 5.375, 30-year fixed 5.625, 5.625. Don't believe me? Go to our profile, go to the link where it says cool stuff, today's rates. That's today's rates. Ryan, the only way we would know how much it would cost to get you down to a 5.99 is to pull your credit, calculate your income, check out your assets, and see what type of loan you're getting involved in. Some loans won't let you buy too deep. They've got cost limits. So we will only know after you call us, pull your credit, build your profile, calculate your income, check out your assets, and make it work. But if 5.99 is the goal, yeah, let's try it.
You know what we haven't talked about in a long time?
Side hustles.
Yes.
You talk about it.
These bad boys right here. Okay, so first thing I want you guys to do is go to TikTok and follow these 2 accounts right here. Lee Money Mentor and Money Mentor Chris. Okay, what are we doing with these profiles? We're sharing with people how they can make money on the side. We're sharing with people how they can make money when they have a full-time job already, doing something else. Because here's the truth of it. Out of 5 people in a room, 2 of those people have a side hustle. 39% of individuals have a side hustle. So that tells me that society is moving this way. Houses are expensive. Cars are expensive. Life in general is expensive. I was talking with one of this other guys yesterday, one of my buddies, and he said he spent $200 just on buying some decorations for Super Bowl. Some plates, some couple things to hang, some footballs to hang on the wall, a couple $100. And that's a lot of money, but that's what things cost today. And that's why 2 out of 5 people have a side gig, doing something on the side. They could be baking cakes, washing cars. Ours is online digital marketing. And that means that we're going to be marketing using your cell phone, using social media, using a computer, digital online marketing. If you have no skills in this, we have a system that will teach you how to do it. We have a system that will teach you how to start a business, run a business, and be successful at that business, providing that you follow the rules. So the reason why I'm sharing this is because a lot of our questions lean towards how much, okay? Money, cost. If you have all the money in the world, you don't ask questions like that. When you don't have all the money, you're concerned about it. And if you're concerned about it, you probably need more of it. So if this is something that interests you,
follow these accounts
and listen to what we have to say. And if you're interested, hopefully you join. And if not, that's okay too. But this is just an opportunity. Okay, guys? Just an opportunity.
I have the house to buy, need a mortgage. Oh, you moved it.
Okay.
I have the house to buy, need a back down, right there. I have a house to buy, need a mortgage broker. No realtor needed? Question mark. Okay,
Andres
so
Apple.
Andres Apple. Here's the thing. I think you need a realtor, and here's why. Because everybody wants to forego the realtor, and realtors get a bad rap, and a lot of times they actually deserve it. They're when you have a good realtor, they're worth their weight in gold. But a lot of transactions, you paid for extra insurance. But here's what a realtor does in California, and it does in your state too. But in California, it's very litigious, which means a lot of lawsuits going back and forth. So California has what's called the California Association of Realtors offer contract. And inside of that contract, there's a lot of things that are covered. And the realtor doesn't have to be smart in California. They can be, but they don't have to be because the car contract covers most things. Now, then the realtor has to know a lot of stuff. Like when I go through a house with a realtor, the realtor will look at the roof and go, hey, see those 4 rooms in that fifth room? The roof is whiter. See how it's whiter? Yeah, that's cool, right? No, it's not cool. Why is it whiter? Well, you don't go into a room and paint one roof. No, you had a leak. Somebody repaired it, and they repainted it, but the white is newer white. And because of that, there could be a roof leak. You don't know about it. How would you ever even know to ask? You don't, but a realtor does. And a realtor walks through and see the corner of the wall, how it's cracking? The paint is cracking? Yeah, paint cracks. No, foundation shift. Wait, what? Foundation shift. So home inspectors catch this stuff too, but realtors deal with things all the time. If you're going to pick a realtor, you have to have one that's really good in your area. Don't pick them because they're good looking. Don't pick them because it's a pretty girl. Don't pick them because it's your cousin. Pick them because they're good. And if you pick a realtor because they're good, it will save you a fortune, like a fortune.
He also said he needed a mortgage.
Yeah.
So who should he
Just
call for
us.
that? Who should he call for that?
We are direct lenders. There's a difference between a direct lender and a mortgage broker.
Screenshot.
Not one is better than the other. They both have their own reasons. I've been on both sides. I can fight both sides. I know how to win either side, but I'm not winning because the argument is better. I'm winning because I'm a better attorney. So the argument is about equal each way. I'm not an attorney, by the way. Sorry.
You confused me, man. You said you were, and now you're not.
I'm a better litigator? No, I'm a better arguer. I'm a better arguer. Do that.
It says the words.
Yeah. I can say the words really, really pretty. So there's pros and cons to each side. If you listen to a mortgage broker, they're going to tell you mortgage brokers are better because they can shop the rate. They can shop the different blanks, and they're not lying. What they're not telling you is once a quarter, they have to choose their commission, and their commission dictates their interest rate at that lender. Ooh, they forgot that part. Oh, yeah. And then the direct lender is going to go, I sell direct. Well, yeah, that's true, but once we lock a loan, we can't unlock it. That's it. You're done. A broker can repackage it somewhere. So there's a pro and con to each one of those. Neither one's better than the other, but it's good to know the overall situation.
So here's one really cool benefit is we work for a national mortgage company.
National.
So in every state, all 50 states, we can do loans in. We're known. So if you have an offer, they'll probably know who the bank is. You'll probably get it accepted versus a small name nobody broker. There's big brokers out there too. But that being said, there you go. Connor, what's up, man?
What's up, my man?
What are the down payment grants in California? Limits. I think 620 FICO, and then you can make a certain amount of money. I think that's what he's trying to say.
So Connor. Usually, CalHFA starts at 640, right? 640. 660 is where you get the good rates. But New American Funding does have a proprietary product.
What does proprietary mean?
It means that nobody else can use it except New American Funding. New American Funding loan officer can use the New American Funding proprietary product. And that one's at 620. Now, there are income caps. In LA, I think it's about 188,000. If you make more than 188,000, you can't use the down payment assistance program. So they're different in different parts of the area. I've seen them as low as 56,000. If you make more than 56,000, you can't do that. But that's in other areas, other states, stuff like that.
So the programs that most people can use have bigger limitations. So like he says, CalHFA has income limits, has loan limits, has all these limits. The in-house proprietary product he was talking about doesn't have an income limit.
Oh, that's right. No income limit.
Doesn't have an income limit.
No income limit. And
Yeah, so you can be a
FICO.
baller, and they'll give you a grant.
And by the way, this is how the banks compete with each other. New American Funding is a big bank. We actually have something called the NAF Cash program where the bank set aside, call it $100 million, and they say, we're going to qualify people, and then we're going to allow them to offer cash on properties, and we'll step in and put the cash in. So if we qualify you NAV cash for $500,000, you're not doing a regular loan. You're walking in with cash money, and you can close that thing in 7 days because it's cash. And then after you close that, it's actually 2 transactions. The second transaction, the bank sells it to you. There's a process, but it's what the banks do to compete with each other, and we're using proprietary funds for that.
Stu Gotts. HELOC the best way when buying a retirement home a year or so before selling current residence? Is that the best route to go?
You tell them.
It is a route to go. So the 2 that I would recommend if you have the equity is a HELOC, depending on how much you're going to borrow. But a second might be better because it's going to have a lower rate for that large of an amount. So both of them are options, but in my opinion, I would go with the second. What do you think?
I go with that. All
right. So poverty sucks. He's back. What makes them good? What makes them, meaning them?
We're badass.
Them? These guys?
We're badass.
Them?
Yeah. Poverty sucks.
And Albert Gomez said, dude, childhood favorite game.
Don't get it.
I don't either. He's either telling us or asking us. But Bella wants to know, what about Kentucky?
Kentucky. Yeah, we do Kentucky. We do 50 states.
Love it.
New American Funding is doing business in all 50 states.
What's
That's
your favorite
a big deal?
What's your
That's a
favorite
big
state?
deal.
What's your favorite state?
Texas.
Texas is your favorite state?
What's your favorite state?
A lot of different reasons right now. I'm going to say California.
Okay, California. Okay.
A lot of different reasons I don't like it, but I think the reasons I do like it outweigh the bad.
Yep.
That being said, I want to live somewhere else. And I'll come back and visit.
Yeah, I'll go down.
But I like it, man.
It's
They
a
got the
great place
mountains,
to
the
be
water.
from. Oh, I did.
So many things.
Yeah. The weather's amazing.
If you're
except for
rich-
last week. If you're rich,
It's at the spot.
you could. Yeah, I don't know about that. Joe Rogan moved. He's pretty rich.
Well, he's in California all the time. That's what I mean. To visit, if you're rich,
Yeah.
this is the spot because there's so many things to do. And I'm sure there's other states that have that cool stuff too.
Caesar, can you use one loan to buy 2 homes? Kind of.
wrap, huh?
So there's you can buy a property with an ADU on it. That works. If you have separate parcels, you can and that are combined in one unit, and the house is sitting on one of them, and they all transfer together, that works. But if you have a house in Texas and a house in California, no, can't do that. You can buy a 4-unit, or in your case, a 2-unit, which there's 2 units, and then you occupy one of them. You can do that. So there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. The answer to that is yes, but not in all situations.
So here's what I want to know, guys. There's about 4 million of you guys watching us right now.
4 million?
About 4 million.
Between-
What do you guys like about where you live? Okay, let me tell you about where we live, and I'm going to tell you what I like about it. So right here where I live, an hour to the mountains that way. I'm talking about Big Bear Resort. And about 40 minutes to the beach that way. I'm talking about Newport Beach. About 40 minutes to an hour that way, we're in the middle of Hollywood. And about 45 minutes to an hour that way, we're in the middle of Palm Springs Desert, that desert area. So that's what I love about where we live. That being said, where we live isn't the most desirable because there's Beverly Hills, which is probably the most desirable. But that's why I like this area, because I can go to the beach, the mountains, the desert, and what was the other thing? Something else within an hour. So what's cool about where you guys live?
And when he says an hour, he means at 3 o'clock in the morning, because California traffic would usually double
Dude, listen
anything
to
you
this.
want.
Listen to this.
Tell me.
This was insane. Okay, so how long to go to LA or back from LA right now?
Right now?
How long would it take you?
One way?
Yeah,
2
well,
hours. 2 hours.
Okay,
2
I
hours.
believe that.
Yeah,
2
2
hours. I've driven that. I came back from a comedy show at 1 in the morning about 3 weeks ago. You know how long it took me?
How long?
35 minutes.
30, I'm telling you, at 3 in the morning.
35
Yeah.
minutes.
If
Middle
there's
of
no traffic-
Hollywood.
You know, I did not like the. Can I say that? I think I can. COVID shutdown. I did not like it, but one thing I did like in California is I could get everywhere fast.
Dude, it was
And
strange.
if there was no traffic in California, this is it's kind of a good place to live.
Dude, imagine if there was no traffic. It'd be amazing.
Yeah,
It'd
it's
be
crazy.
So
It's
stupid.
crazy, yeah.
Bella, first time CDL, lowest pay since 79,000 guaranteed. First year CDL job, lowest pay 79,000 guaranteed, 1,500 a week, credit 700. Does that look good?
Yes, if a CDL to me means commercial driver's license, OTR, over the road driver, which means you're going to probably be 1099. If you're 1099, we have to see your taxes. If you're W2, that's pretty steadfast, man. You're ready to go.
Connor says, when I moved back to California, I was thinking of Menifee because my buddy of mine works with C21 there. Kind of close to where we're at. It's probably closer to the desert than it is LA, but kind of the same situation we're talking about. Bella, first year CDL. Oh, we just answered that one.
Yep.
Connor, I like Riverside, but I'd rather go to a broker where I know someone's thoughts. We know a lot of people, man. So when you move to the area, we'll introduce you to a lot of people. You pick and choose what's best for you.
And
But,
Connor, one of the things, if you're thinking real estate, your broker is a very, very, very important decision, like a really important decision. You need a good broker who understands things, a mentor. Don't just go to payout, because there's a lot of people that give you 100% payout and you'll fail. I've seen so many people enter real estate and fail because here's the ugly part of real estate. It is a people business. You must be seeing people all the time. And if you have a broker who's like partying all night and taking you to the bar, and that's not helping you. It's not helping you.
want to do drugs.
If you have one that we have this one broker, I won't tell you who it is, but he used to say everybody shows up at 5 a.m. and everybody hated him, but everybody that worked for him got successful.
Yeah.
And they got successful. It's like going through Navy SEAL boot camp. After you've been through, it's going to suck. But if you do it right, you're a SEAL for the rest of your life. If you do the broker right, you're going to be in real estate for the rest of your life. You're going to be good. If not, you're going to go to some great parties, talk about how shitty the market is, and then you're going to be at Starbucks.
There was a recent video, and I know who you're talking about,
Yeah.
of the same person who
Yeah.
now says,
Yeah.
all you got to do is think of it, and it'll happen.
Dude, you're going to out him. You're going to out him. He's like, manifest $1 million by thinking of it. Go. I'm like, I remember you when you would wake everybody up at 5 a.m. and tell them and crack the whip and not let them take a lunch break. You're like, eat lunch at your desk. Why? Because we got business to do. And you got rich.
Dude.
You got successful doing
There's
it.
a guy that trolled him and said, okay, which one is it? Do
Yeah.
I wake up at 4 a.m. or do I just think about it?
I know, it's
Pick one,
hilarious.
guy.
Dude, it's funny, man.
Yeah,
It's
anyway.
funny, yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah.
shoeless glass. I
Shoeless
own an
glass.
S-Corp. Can that help in any way buying a home? I live in Long Island. Ooh, Long Island. Huh?
So an
With
S-Corp.
Gatsby. Great
Yeah.
Gatsby.
The S-Corp may not help you. May help you. So an S-Corp, just so you know, an S-Corp is a C-Corp with a sub-S election. That's what that means. So C-Corp with a sub-S election means that you can flow through your losses, which means you're trying to show that you made less money. So if your S-Corp helped you profit and you brought more money to your pocket, it can help you a lot. But most people file an S-Corp so that they can pay less on taxes, which is not going to help you buy a house.
Pop quiz. Why is Long Island called Long Island? I want to see if anybody knows. It's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Can y'all solve my last 2 homework questions for me?
All right?
How can I buy my brother's house for the remaining balance?
Okay?
Artesia. One
So-
stop. Whatever.
Buy my
you can try to
brother's house for remaining balance. So you can just say, hey, brother, can I buy your house for $100,000 that you owe on it? But it's worth $300,000. Yeah, but can I? Yeah. And then finance it? I think. I don't.
Yeah, the person's willing and selling it to you for whatever, that's fine as long as it's legal. And it's legal.
Uh-huh.
You have to write an explanation though.
Yeah.
There's a lot of equity. So if there's like $500,000 in equity in there, I have to say he's my brother. I love him. Whatever.
Yeah.
Lane, how about a loan to include purchase of land, building, home in Mississippi? Land and building home in Mississippi.
We do that one construction
Heck yeah.
one-off, right? The
Yeah.
construction one-off?
It's a
Yeah,
one-
we got a
one-time
construction
close?
one-off, yeah. So we have a construction one-off loan that just came into our sphere, and that might fit the criteria. So maybe call us.
Yeah. My buddy said C21 where he is at because it's 50-50 split, which is a low split.
Yeah.
But mentors are great.
The most important thing in the beginning is a mentor. The most important thing. The most important. People think it's like, hey, I got 100% payout or 90% payout. I'm like, no, that's the worst thing you can do. And the same thing in loan officer world. They're like, hey, I get 300 basis points and I'm a broker. Yeah, you're going to be broke in a year. I promise you, you're going to be broke.
Yep. And Shoeless Glass hit it because
Yeah.
it's 100 miles long and it's an island. Yes, that is right. Ed said for VA, right? What you talking about?
I don't know.
What's for VA, Ed? Let us know.
Help us
Shoeless
out, VA.
Shoeless Glass, thanks for the info. I actually learned the mentor is good.
Yes. Yes.
All right, kiddo, you ready to hit this?
Cool. Yeah, I
Dude,
think
look
so.
at lasers.
What? We got
got
lasers. Oh, somebody on. That's a new one.
IG.
That's IG. IG. Thank you very much for the lasers. I don't even know what that is. We've seen a lot of stuff. That's the first time I've seen
Dude,
lasers.
Ed coming to the table, he said you talk about one-time construction loan.
Oh,
we can do that VA.
VA allows that. So does
FHA?
FHA
Fannie,
allows
Freddie?
it. Fannie and Freddie now allow it. But they're complicated. Don't think it's going to be a simple thing. It's very, very complicated.
But it can be done.
Very
You
complicated.
fund apartment buildings for investors? Didn't I say we were leaving?
We were leaving.
And what cities do you fund in? Okay, do you do apartment buildings, and what cities do you fund in?
I don't do apartment buildings. I do not. We have a line to a commercial person who does commercial loans. But if you're doing a primary residence, every city in the United States we fund in. Every city in the United States.
Boom.
Every.
Who are you? Who am I?
Hey, we've been Chris and Lee. We appreciate you guys. We're out.